Patmay plays video games and does improv. Yippee! My name is Patmay. This is a video game improv show. We play video games and do improv at the exact same time. Maybe you heard of it. My name is Patmay. This is Suleiman Beg, our normal co-host. Press B to drive.
There we go.
And today we have.
What up, my cucks?
Thank you. That's his catchphrase.
Yeah.
And
I thought I'd be polite about it this time. Yeah.
you were super polite about it. Thank you for being polite about it. And today we have an incredible guest. You can see him on the Blank Check podcast, and then you can listen to him in the Amazon Tick Show. Put your hands together for Griffin Newman!
Yes, Griffin Newman from the Amazon Tick Show.
From the Amazon Tick Show.
Yeah.
It still hasn't been named, right? It's still being referred to
No,
as
untitled Amazon Tick Show. It's canceled, but still unnamed. Thank you for having me here. I gotta say, Pat, we just did one where you were playing video games and I was not.
Fun, right?
And it's a very weird experience. It feels like having a fight with someone who's not listening. Like when your mom yells at you,
right,
and it's like, stop playing video games. You're like, what? I can repeat back everything you just said. I can do both at the same time.
Wow, that is an amazing explanation of like being around Pat.
Right?
When video games are around.
You're like, he can't be comprehending what I'm saying right now.
There's no way.
And then he mostly is.
I'm probably still thinking about the last thing you said, even though you said something else.
Famously
you know when someone's like mad at you for the last thing, or like the thing you said like 3 things ago?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What were you gonna say?
I was going to say, famously, this is a multiplayer game with more than 2 people that can play, right?
Right. So the 2 of us are going to play it. How are you doing?
Good. I don't know, chat a little bit. I wanted to talk about, because Griffin, before we started recording, you were saying that
and this
Crash Bandicoot is your favorite game franchise?
It is.
This is beautiful because I think
Stupid.
also, as a kid, this was mine. I loved Crash.
Nice. I mean, I'll say this. It's weird because...
Are we talking 3D platforming or just platforming in general?
Kind of in general.
Fuck you.
I'm not going to argue that the Crash Bandicoot games are better than like the original Super Mario games.
Like, what are you saying?
If we're talking about favorites,
yeah.
You know?
People are allowed to have favorites.
It's not about like, what am I putting into the Smithsonian? What am I putting into like the space capsule? I'm talking about like what my favorites are. I'll say this, okay?
But don't you want your favorites to be in the Smithsonian? That way you see it more?
Right, but there's a difference between your objective like assessment of the best accomplishments by humanity and the things that you enjoy the most, you know? And enjoyment isn't always tied to like quality. Although I do think they're good games. Yeah. I was far more of a Nintendo household than a PlayStation household, but I would go over to my friend's house and play Crash Bandicoot, and I fucking loved it.
And it revolutionized platformers.
It really did not.
It did. It played in a way that platformers didn't work. You didn't
think
play. Yeah, it didn't
right,
play.
because you compare like Crash Bandicoot 1 and Super Mario 64. Super Mario 64 was trying to like break new ground. You know, it was like not trying to just be the same kind of platformer in another dimension. And Crash Bandicoot was like scratching that itch of like, this is kind of that classic like Super Mario world, like jumping, breaking crates, you know? I love that. I love smashing shit. I love collecting shit.
Yeah.
I love speed running. I love that that's built into Crash Bandicoot, that like you can get an extra, go around at the level trying to hit the time goal. I love that whole thing. And plus, I think Crash Bandicoot's a fucking freak. I think he's a cool guy. He's got big dick energy.
I'm gonna say it. Best guest ever. Oh my god. I think can we get like a graphic of like a crown or something? Just right here. If not,
I do also
digitally erase my hand and put a crown here.
I love the aesthetics of the Crash universe. Yeah. I love the whole cast of characters. I love the Ooga Booga thing.
Yeah. I mean, that was
racist.
It's not racist. Against whom?
Yeah, against who, Pat?
Lead between these traffic cones. I dare you.
Yeah, Pat. I would love for you to
might be racist.
No, it might be.
Yeah.
To who?
Racist against masks. No, I love Crash Bandicoot. I think he's a great guy. No, but here's an example. Of course, I'm not a maniac. I think Mario Kart's a better game than Crash Team Racing, but I get a certain level of enjoyment from playing this game and being like, oh, it's like Mario Kart. It's a little shittier, but what I'm gaining is like Ripperoo, you know? And like Komodo
The
Mo.
meaner version of Crash, the like dirtier version of Crash.
Yeah, that's what I like. I like that they're sort
Everyone's
of like
dirty too.
Yeah, that they're like dirty scumbags.
Yeah.
God. I mean, I know what you mean.
Crash did what like Sonic Racing couldn't do.
Yes.
You know?
Like
be a good game.
that's an example. Like
I mean, Sonic is not typically that good.
I am
Sonic is great. We can all agree that he is the best.
But I'm so much more into the Crash Bandicoot universe than the Sonic universe. Like, even if you like go like, okay, Mario is like the Godfather. Like, that's the perfect video game universe.
Okay.
I'm not going to deny it, right? It's
Yeah.
like the platonic ideal.
It's
The
Godfather.
Sonic world has never really
shit.
pulled me in.
Sure, yeah, outside of Sonic, there is no real mythos to, like, you know, like...
There's a lot of slash fic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of erotica.
There's
They're all mythos.
Speaking
I will,
of,
really quick, Sonic does have 80 or so years of just comic book shit, too.
I
Which
know,
people forget.
But I'll say this, I kind of like that the Crash Bandicoot universe doesn't have all this supplemental material. That there's not a cartoon show, that there's not a comic book, there's no other stuff to sort of like chart. Like Sonic has like so many alternate realities.
Right.
You know, like it would have like 2 different Sonic cartoons airing at the same time.
Which isn't a good thing. Just
Exactly.
like, I don't know if that's a good thing.
No, I'm
but-
saying that's a bad thing. It's
Yeah.
nice that Crash is just like, just play these games, and that's all
Yeah.
you need to know. He's a lunatic,
Yeah.
and scientists are always out to get him.
Well, because they like knowledge, and they're like, this
Yeah.
guy is anti-knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know who's not anti-knowledge?
Key
Key
food.
food.
Get your
the fine folks at Key Food.
Get your
famously-
college degree.
Yeah, you can get your college degree at Key Food University.
along with those.
Here's something for both you guys,
Okay.
both you sports heads. Talk about football.
Love
Madden.
sports. Madden. Never played it.
This is topical for the date that we're recording this.
Oh, the season just started.
Oh,
did
yeah.
it
The season
not?
just started,
Yes.
and Antonio Brown went to the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I've never played Madden. My brother.
Was that a sincere?
primarily-
Oh wow.
No.
Hey bros, thanks for coming over, man. Are you guys excited for fucking Sunday game day?
Yeah, you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, man. This
Yeah, you fucking kidding me, you douche? I'm so ready for this game.
Yeah, you fucking asshole.
Yeah,
Ain't shit.
yeah,
It's gonna be
man.
the
Yeah,
best
you guys
day
are
ever.
fucking bros. Hey, can we chill on just like name calling and shit? Just you know.
Well, what are you talking about? We're just busting your little balls over there.
Yeah,
Yeah. Whoa. First of all, I told you guys that about inconfidence. All right.
Yeah, we're just batting around your tiny, skinny wiener.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
guys. Okay, hey, bros, come on, man. You know I got into sports because I never matured down there.
Yeah, because your penis is so thin.
Yeah, dude,
Thin.
yeah, bro. But you know what?
Thin but long.
It doesn't stop me from enjoying sports.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah,
I still can watch sports with my bros.
Yeah, and we love you for that, you shit-eating goblin.
Yeah. Dude, I saw a shit-eating goblin the other day,
Oh, was it this guy?
and it asked to make out with you.
The shit-eating goblin asked to make out with me.
Yeah, 'cause
All right,
you probably-
okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, well, what did you guys bring? Did you guys bring beer, snacks?
We brought stuff for the sports game.
Yeah. Balls. Ever hear of them?
Oh, what? Come on, guys. Come on, man. Did you
No, I
guys,
just threw a ball at
you
you.
guys throwing up testicles?
Hey, stop it.
Bigger than yours.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bigger than
come
yours.
on, man.
Ow, big
How
and
do I hang out with you guys?
Press X and get a chance.
Yeah.
So
I
you're
will
first.
say I instinctually, when
that?
we went to the scene, paused the game.
Yeah.
Never do
That's
that.
what any polite person
No,
would do.
No.
You'll also notice at some point Pat will burp and will act as if it was like a normal like.
I didn't get breakfast today, so I don't.
Bobby
get that.
Durst style. Yeah.
Bobby Durst.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's Pat's tell.
Oh, come on.
Pat's tell is a
Don't compare me to a murderer.
alleged murderer.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's a good, yeah, we don't know.
My
We don't
favorite
know.
TV star.
You're gonna dress up as him for Halloween, right?
I could actually. That's not a bad costume idea. I
Yeah.
could dress up as him. I have the body type.
But like a rabid version of him or something.
Rabbit. I'll be Robert Durst with rabies.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't want to name them because I don't want to implicate them, but my favorite bar in New York City, which was my father's favorite bar when he moved to New York City when he was younger than me. And I was always like, man, I don't understand how this bar has stayed around for this long. It's in like a really prime real estate location, and it feels totally untouched by time. It's got the cheapest beer in New York City that I found.
Oh,
Is
I
it the
think
Applebee's in Times Square?
It is. No, I don't
that
want
place is so fucking cheap. It's
so
crazy.
fucking cheap. $1 Long Island iced teas.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
I don't want to name this place because of what I'm
Yeah,
about
sure.
to say, but I'd always wondered how they stayed open. And the answer is that the land it is built on, the real estate itself, is owned by the Durst family, and the owner of the bar had quote unquote done some favors for the family years back, and they decreed that as long as he was alive, his rent would not get raised.
Whoa.
Which I don't want to know what those favors were.
Holy shit.
Right?
Shit.
Holy shit.
That
was exclusive.
We just pivoted to a true crime podcast.
Wait.
No, and I didn't name
My favorite murder.
Yeah.
Should I start singing that?
Yeah, let's see if we can siphon off their list.
You know who has no
That's
ties
a crazy
to Durst
story.
family?
Kifu. I bet
Famously-
they're on some Durst land. I guarantee you. In this city,
You think
with
one of
their-
the buildings, one
with
of the
their-
market is definitely a Durst land.
I will say this, with Kifu's
Durst
number
land.
of very convenient locations, one of those has to be on
gotta
Durst
be.
property.
Yeah.
Durst prop.
Oh man, another Pokemon question.
Yay, Pokemon.
Eileen, are you Pokemon Sword or Shield?
I'm Shield.
I don't know what this means. Does that mean defense and offense? Is that what Shield and Sword is?
So there's every generation there's 2 Pokemon
Right, it's just
games.
the colors, right?
Yeah, it's just a different version.
So this is the first time it doesn't even loosely qualify as a color, right?
No, there's X and Y.
Oh, okay.
And there's Diamond Pearl with whatever the fuck that
Yeah, but
is.
at least those, sometimes people refer to those as colors. You know, they're like,
Yeah,
oh, it's like a
Ruby,
pearl
brass,
color.
sapphire, yeah.
Right.
There have been like Black and White, there's been Sun and Moon.
Okay. Okay, so look, I don't know shit. I'm a fucking
That's what I was getting at, especially with that Crash comment. Jesus.
how do you pick which one to play at this point in time? Is it still the sort of same?
Whichever I like more.
Well,
I like
this
the
is
Sun
my-
or the Moon more.
Okay, but do they have like? Because I have not played a Pokemon game since Red and Blue.
Okay.
What
It's-
are like the differences between the two games? Is it still just sort of like, oh, your starter Pokemon are a little different? No, because that wasn't even the difference.
It's
What
different-
is the difference between the two?
So it's different Pokemon in each one. So the wild
Okay.
Pokemon will slightly change.
So are there ones you cannot
Exactly.
catch and you would have to trade?
You would have to trade.
Okay.
Or buy the other one.
Okay.
And then the kind of going off of that as well, the other big
Right,
thing
because
that
the
they
starters are
changed-
the same in both. right?
Exactly.
Okay.
And the big change they made was that now your legendaries will also change.
Mm.
So like the guy on the cover, you'll get through the story. There's like no way to not get him,
Yeah.
essentially. And so they'll change up which ones they have. I'm stuck. And so they'll change which one you get.
That's kind of a fucking racket. I can't believe
Oh,
they've
yeah.
just for 20 years been like, oh yeah, no, they're two different versions of
Oh,
the
it's a
same
super
game.
racket.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the highest, as long as I remember, as long as I'm getting this correctly,
Yeah.
it's the biggest media thing ever.
It is. It is the highest grossing media franchise of all time.
And the games are surprisingly low budget considering
yes,
all that.
Yes.
Like, so in this newest game, they're not including all 9,000 Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like the biggest cheapo thing ever because it's like, how could you guys not afford to like get all of those guys in there? Like that's like they're like so cheaply made. How can you not like get them all in there?
Yeah, and they don't have an excuse beyond trying to
like
duplicate sales. Right?
Exactly.
Right.
They don't have an excuse beyond not any game can be better than the other games.
Right.
And also like maybe a little bit of laziness, you know?
How you doing?
Who's who?
What? Oh, I'm sorry.
Jesus!
Jesus!
Did you hear that? I told you, this place is haunted, man.
Man, just remember, okay, all we gotta do is stay the night and we walk out of here with a cool
$1 million. Okay, we all signed it and it said dollars, right? Nobody put any weird other currency that's less than, right?
What?
Well,
What?
that's not binding, right? I mean, it like...
No, that was the whole point.
But the verbal agreement was $1 million, so if I put something different down
No, the
my
contract said $1 million blank, and then you were supposed to fill in the currency that you wanted.
which I intended to do totally, that was my aim, but I'm just saying sometimes it's hard to remember how
What did
many
you put down?
zeros.
What did you put down?
I put down a 1 and a couple of zeros, and I don't remember how many.
So
But
you
we
could
just
leave
have
with
to
maybe
stay the
either
night.
10 or to $1 million you could leave with, or at least 100 to $1 million.
I mean, think about it this way, it could be more.
We're staying in a haunted inn?
It could be $100 million.
So you're saying it's money, right? You didn't say anything stupid, did you?
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm afraid, because it was $1 million and then it was blank.
Yeah.
So like, what did you write in the blank?
In the blank, I put in like a couple of zeros, and like I didn't
So
say
you
anything-
put in $1 million, a couple of zeros?
Million, couple of zeros. We could just be getting a bunch of zeros for all we know.
Well,
Are you kidding? We're just gonna get a bunch of zeros?
look, that makes the night kind of fun because it's like, oh, maybe we get like 10 cents or maybe we get $100 million. let's stay the night. It's worth the risk.
No.
And let's hope it's not 10 cents.
No,
you know what I'm
Phil,
saying?
you don't understand. The blank was where we were supposed to put down what we wanted $1 million of, and I thought we all agreed that we put down dollars because that is what we would make. That would make sense. But what you're saying is you put in the blank a couple of zeros. So they are going to give us $1 million of a couple of zeros.
I don't think that's the case. I mean, I just wrote down, like I wrote it out, like word for word,
That was
a couple of
binding.
zeros.
Right.
So I don't think there's any way they misinterpreted
That was me.
No, they were.
That owl was me.
What?
That howl you just heard was me. Sorry, I just made that.
Are you
sound.
practicing your ventriloquism act
little
in
bit.
the midst of
Listen,
us trying
$1
to
million
make sure?
what? $1 million what?
We've gone over that. I wrote a couple
Yeah, we
zeros.
we're
Yeah.
past that now.
Well, listen, guys. We better
Okay,
get...
cool. Well, now we should listen to you do your
Yeah,
ventriloquist
okay.
act. Right, okay.
Yeah.
So I at one point was watching how bad Griffin was stuck.
Yeah, you know why? Because I was trying to listen to my scene partner and then I forgot I was playing a video game.
I was like, I was listening, and then I was like, he looks really confused. And then I looked at you just driving into a wall.
Yeah, I had forgotten that I was playing the game other than my hand still being on the button.
It was fun.
We were making great eye contact.
Yeah, Griffin was
Yeah.
making great eye contact.
I
What
need
I
some eye
thought
contact.
was weird was that, Pat, your way of entering the scene is to disregard everything that's been going on and just say whatever is on your mind.
It's almost like he's distracted by something else he's doing at the same time.
Yeah.
I wasn't
Like,
distracted.
Distracted to a way that's absurd.
Yes, an absurd level of distraction. Almost like that's the entire premise of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bad show, but it's okay.
But I do
It's a-
admire your ability to stay somewhat focused. Griffin.
We talked.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Griffin.
You. I try. What were you gonna say? We talked about. You were about to say something. We talked about. You can't even pay attention to yourself.
That's literally most of the time. He's bad. It starts a sentence and then just stops paying attention. To
I was gonna
himself.
say this show is actually pretty good, even though it's like distracting.
Please
I would
subscribe.
wish you would like, comment, and subscribe.